Since I began photography about 10 years ago, a bit more than 10 years ago, my main motivation was always to photograph humans in difficult position. And naturally, I went to conflict zone or very unstable places because this is definitely where some people suffer the most. And this is where I believe that photography has a real, how can I say, role. So I naturally went into some places like Central African Republic where I'm working now, and with which I was awarded at the World Press Photo this year, because it's definitely a place where there are things that has to be photographed to tell about humans suffering. This story I'm shooting now in Central African Republic is very new for me because I never covered this kind of conflict in Africa. I never covered any other conflict in Africa. I covered Libya conflict, but this is a very different country. There's so much poverty, so much underdevelopment that there's so much people that are ready to take arms. It's so easy to set up an army in Central African Republic. It's so easy to set up a coup. So I believe myself that underdevelopment and poverty, undereducation has a big impact on this. But religion was not at all a reason of the conflict at the beginning. The reason of the conflict is just that a rebel group, mostly Muslim, this is true, but there were also some Christians with them, took power, and this time the president Jotodia was not able to control all these people. So during 10 months, nearly a year, this group continued to commit exaction, and mostly towards, but not only, but mostly towards the Christian community. So this is how it begins. So it's very, very dangerous to say this is a religious conflict. There are many things very, very difficult in Central African Republic when you are there, but the most difficult is, of course, security, even if it's better now. Funding is very important when you cover such stories, not only to just fund normal story, but also for your security. And so this is one of the biggest difficulty there. One big difficulty is to work with the two groups involved in the conflict. So you have on one side some Christians militia that are called Anti-Balakas, and the other side the Seleka that are mostly Muslims. And it depends. Like in December, I had some very good access with Anti-Balakas. I went in the forest with them. I photographed them very easily. And now it's very difficult, very, very difficult, because the French army is fighting them. So they consider Western people as French and as someone responsible of their troubles because French army is attacking them. With the Seleka, it's very interesting. It's different. In November and December, it wasn't possible to photograph them. Even in the street, it was very difficult. And now in the East, I spent 1 week in the East this time. In the East, you still have 1/3 of the country that is controlled by Seleka. And with some good contact we had with some colleagues, I could quite easily photograph some Seleka fighters in one of the base in Bambari. But then we met them later in another place where it was fighting, and then they didn't want any pictures. But at least I could photograph them in the base. So it's something there's no general rule about this. It changes everywhere, it changes every day. What I'm trying to do is to have some simple pictures that are very strong, that can touch a lot of people,